have Rosemary Backus Hamm. She will bring greetings representing the class of 1970, and following her will be Helen Brice Shelton, who was our president for the class of 1971. You ready, ladies?
Yes.
All right.
Hello, I'm Rose Backus Davis Hamm, and it is my pleasure to welcome members of the class of 1970 to the class of 1971's 50th reunion. Thank you to the Planning Committee for including us, since we were unable to have our 50th reunion in 1970 due to COVID. Thank you, classmates, for joining this weekend of activities. We look forward to renewing acquaintances, reminiscing, and establishing the class of 1970's alumni committee. More importantly, as our president of Coppin stated, we must serve as ambassadors. In fact, it is our duty to come back to our alma mater, support our president, serve to continue to make the Coppin State University one of the best HBCUs. So thank you, and let's have some fun.
Okay. Helen, here she is.
There we go. Good evening, fellow Coppinites. And first, I want to thank, if Dr. Jenkins is still on, want to thank him for coming to salute us with his presence, even taking the time out of a special family occasion to come and to be with us. We feel very special and very honored by that. Well, it's a heartwarming pleasure to see so many familiar faces. And as Bee said earlier, it is hard to believe that 50 years have gone by since we graduated from Coppin State College, now university. That's a little hard to think, 50 years. You know, that kind of tells us our age, doesn't it? Now, if you remember that I was the senior class president, your memory is better than mine. A few years ago, a very dear Coppin friend had to jog my memory before I could recall that I held that position. So I want to thank all of you who voted for me. I'm going to be honest and say that if I had not reviewed that magnificent website that Stan Brown created with our yearbook pictures, I may not have remembered many of you had we met around the city. That's what 50 years has done to my memory. But what I do remember most about those 4 years is the warm and inviting feeling on the Coppin campus. Let me see a thumbs up if you remember having a similar feeling. Anybody? Great. I can still almost visualize different friend groups that flowed in and out and around campus. Many of us came to Coppin with neighborhood friends and classmates from the various city high schools, but a few came from other states. Raise your hand if you came from outside of Maryland to attend Coppin. Anybody? I see Dutchie, I see Antoinette, and I can't see everybody, might be some others. I remember the closeness of class groups that we traveled with that changed each year depending on our majors. Eventually, we became members of groups that represented our talents or interests like sports, cheerleading, modeling, drama, activism, or journalism. Right, Dr. Tignor? Some became members of fraternities and sororities. Others were simply me, fi, me. Are there any me, fi, me's in the room? Want to raise your hand? I see some hands. Hey there, Jamila. Okay. And there were some veterans of the armed forces on campus. We thank you for your service. Are there any here this evening? All right. Okay, where was I? Many made their mark in student government or in student union card playing groups. Anybody want to admit to that? Okay, all right. And many classmates flowed among several groups. No matter the group, we seem to know how to spell and represent the word respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, respect. We respected one another. As I remember, there were no rival groups that presented negative discourse in our experiences at Coppin. At the risk of sounding trite, I'd say that Coppin provided a family-like atmosphere that supported our learning and our growth. That family atmosphere was supported by away-from-home adults, teachers, deans, administration staff, cafeteria staff, custodians, club sponsors, upper class big sisters and big brothers, all who cared and paid attention and guided us through our college experience. I am grateful, as I'm certain you are as well, for the preparation we received at Coppin that sent us off onto our various life paths. Let's give Coppin a round of applause. Come on, elementary school people, a round of applause. Okay. As your former senior class president, as I come to a close, I'd like to encourage you to either begin or continue to give back to the HBCU that started us on our 50-year journey. And this is how we can do it. Join other class members in contributing to the Class of 1971 Fund, which will support the erection of a monument to our college founder, Fannie Jackson Coppin, and provide support to help students stay in school. Contribute through the link on the 1971 reunion website so that our class will be credited for your contribution. Another way we can support our alma mater is by joining the Alumni Association. Consider becoming a lifetime member for just $500. Does anyone remember the days when we had layaway? Anybody? Okay, so, well, the Alumni Association provides kind of a layaway plan. You can get a $50 a month payment plan and become a lifetime member in just 10 months. I did it a few years ago, and I'm glad I did. Let's support the HBCU that gave us our start. So may I see a show of hands of how many of you are appreciative of this reunion opportunity? Anybody? Anybody glad that we're having this reunion? Terrific. Now, let me see by a show of hands how many would like to come back in 5 years to celebrate our 55th year of college graduation. Anybody want to do that? Okay, fantastic. Our own Reverend Dr. Larissa Horn has claimed that the class of 1971 will have a 55th year reunion in 2026. If not before, I hope to see you in 5 years. God bless us all.
Thank you.